Today's video is a tour of my local area, which is Ekkamai. This is a neighbourhood based on Sukhumvit Road, which is the international hub of Bangkok. Here you can see we've got my local coffee shop and an old-fashioned, I think it's a Vespa scooter. They love these Vespa scooters out here. There's a lot of scooters, and I think they have a Vespa factory within Thailand, so you get a lot of them, which is one of the few like European-based car or motorcycle brands that you get out here. So Ekkamai is an area like on the Sukhumvit, which is next to Thong Lo, the hipster cool area in Bangkok. Obviously I live pretty close there, so it's going to be cool. Ekkamai attracts a lot of Japanese expats. We got a lot of salarymen here, a lot of Japanese wives that are in tow with their husbands, and also a lot of Thai people. And it's the more traditional neighborhood that I'm interested here. You can see up here we got some traditional Chinese symbols, the bells. If you can see in the background there's some Chinese text. And China and Thailand are very close, they're next to one another, and there's been a long tradition of people from China within Thailand. A lot of the business community especially have Chinese origins. And the interesting thing is that this is in fact very old-fashioned, because I have Chinese friends, my girlfriend's Chinese. She couldn't read all of the signs or didn't understand all of the traditions because they predate the Communist Party, they predate modern China. When the CCP took over, they wiped out a lot of the traditions, and they're being kept alive in communities like this within Thailand, in Malaysia, in Singapore, etc. So it's interesting that even some of this stuff is foreign to Chinese people, but being kept alive in Thailand. You can see here a guy cooking a pot on the street. This is the street culture I really love out here. Because of the weather, the heat, it's much more practical to do stuff outdoors than it is, say, in the UK, just to keep cool. And there's a lot of community stuff happening that just is not really possible in the UK. You can see these old-fashioned houses. It almost looks like something like I imagine you'd see in Hong Kong. These cars here have got a lot of cardboard and stuff on top of them. I think that's to keep the pigeon crap off, because there's a lot of pigeons. One died in my bedroom while I was away. That's another story, but yeah, I think it's to keep the pigeon crap off. Although this car's a bit of a mess also. So yeah, this is the local neighborhood. My condo's like 5 minutes from here. 30 cup. People are very friendly. We've got these flags hanging. They almost look like the Tibetan ones you see on Everest. If you've lived in Thailand, you know that most people, or a lot of people, travel by scooter. You can see up here some more Chinese lettering up there, the yin and the yang symbol. And as I said, a lot of this is alien to Chinese people because it predates the CCP. It's like over 70 years old. The families here are like great-great-great-grandfathers, grandmothers came over from China. So that community has been in Thailand for a long time and has mixed. And to me, it's very fascinating that tradition is being kept alive here when in fact it isn't really maybe alive from its actual origins. There's a lot of greenery here, which is lovely, because if you live in Bangkok, you know there's a lot of concrete. It's a concrete jungle, but we still have flowers. You can see here. It's really beautiful. And there is one of the more modern style condos you can see in the back of shot. Up there, it's probably about I don't know, 25 stories, which is kind of mid-range for Bangkok. This neighbourhood, it doesn't have so many ridiculously tall condos and skyscrapers. 25 stories, believe it or not, is not actually considered massive here. This neighbourhood is, as I said, more old school, traditional Thai. And I imagine that maybe 30, 40 years ago, this was the majority of Bangkok, which is fascinating because now it's one of the most high-rise cities in Asia, if not the world. You can see up here, we have a photo of the king, obscured by some of the... There we see the king and the queen. There is a very strong royalist element within Thailand. People are very respectful of the royal family out here, and there's a lot of photos, a lot of ornamentation around that, way more than in the UK. And like people have it in their houses, in their shops, in the barber shop. Things are beginning to change a little bit now, but it's very prevalent. We can see more of the Chinese influence, the Chinese lanterns up here. They're very cool at night, I love them. And it's like a little jungle here. And we have a shrine at the back here, which is very beautiful. There are many, many shrines in Thailand. Got some hanging shells there. Again, with the Chinese symbols. And the interesting thing about a lot of the shrines here is they mix religions. So there is Buddhism, there is Hinduism, and there's shamanism that all kind of combine to form something uniquely Thai. And there's also like the Indian influence, the Chinese influence, the Cambodian influence. So it's a mixture of cultures that create Thailand. I love that. It's like a bamboo tree in the background there, the white one, very beautiful. Another of the condos, this is a more modern condo. You can see the size difference between these houses, which are like 3-story, and that, I'd say maybe 28-story. One of the taller buildings within the neighbourhood that I'm living in. And I just love all this foliage. There's so much beautiful, not flowers, but plant life here. It's one of the good things about, well, there are flowers, you can see here. One of the nice things about this neighbourhood, I wake up in the morning, you hear the birds singing, there's a cockerel, cock-a-doodle-doo, there's dogs, there's a lot of pigeons, but there's wildlife here, and there's greenery that I can see, cherry blossoms from my window. That isn't normal in Bangkok. It's very urban. Like however inner city and urban you think London or maybe Berlin is, trust me, Thailand is way more, Sawadee Cup, way more urban than that. Sawadee Cup. And it's a little bit of a shock if you're coming from Europe or the States or most parts of the world where there's much more access to green and nature. Check this out. You can see some people doing their thing, doing a little bit of sewing in the house. Very cool. Egg noodles with wonton, world champions. Little doggy here. Yeah, a little dog here. And a cat. They're friends. Cute. That's nice. The dog and the cat get on. They're friends.
Her name is Kanun.
Kanun?
Her Kanun, yes.
Kanun?
Jackfruit in English.
Okay.
And her name is Pookie.
Pookie?
Yes, Pookie.
What does that mean?
No. Same
Pookie.
as human, no? Pookie.
Pookie?
Yes, Pookie.
And they're friends?
Yeah. Chai man.
Chai. Oh, Pookie. Yeah, that's very cute. You look like you've been well fed. You feed her very well. She looks very well fed.
She is owner.
Good.
She take care her so much.
Yeah. Good girl. Good girl.
ดีครับเนี่ยว้าว
Alright,
แม
thank
ว
you.
จะลองจ้องมาแล้วเนี่ยยังไม่ได้เราต้องเก็บขึ้น
Bye bye. See ya. You too. So yeah, people are very friendly here. It's one of the things I like about Thailand. And this, this is just really beautiful to me. I love all this tradition. The kind of chaos, it can be annoying at times, but also beautiful. As you see here, like the jungles of plants, of mishmash of styles of housing. It's really fascinating. And I'm very fortunate to live in this neighbourhood. One of the reasons I'm staying here, because it just feels like there's a community. See, like people cooking street food. Try not to get run over. People cooking street food here. You can get some on the street. It's gonna cross. Hang on. People making. I think this is. It's not tom yam. We've got some local noodles here. Some salad. People eating out in the street. It's just cool, man. It's like you just can't get this back in the UK, and it's something that I think that I really want. I hope that Bangkok preserves, because it's unique and it is really it's beautiful. It's community. As much as the modern skyscrapers and condos are great, this kind of traditional aspect of Thai culture is what I think makes it stand out. It makes it special, because many countries have skyscrapers, but not many have this kind of street community and culture where people are like cooking and mending stuff and doing stuff in the street. It's really special, and I love it. That's why I'm here. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of the neighbourhood, meeting Pookie and the cat. I hope you had a nice time, and I'll be doing. Let me know if you enjoy this. I'll maybe doing more videos around Bangkok, some of the places I go, some of the places I find interesting. If you enjoy this, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.